That night changed everything for me, and I had no idea what was coming next.
Mara was 19 years old the day she drugged a man, undressed him, and got caught in his bed. At least, that's what they told everyone. The truth was, Mara never touched a drop of anything that wasn't given to her first. But in the Okonkwo mansion, the truth belonged to whoever controlled the household, and that was never going to be a girl with a mop and a sick mother in Ajigono. This is the story of how a stolen night, a stolen name, and a stolen child almost stole her entire life. Stay till the end, because what Lady Patricia did to keep her family's contract alive will make your blood boil, and what Mara did with a child nobody believed was real will make you cry tears of joy. Before we continue, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You don't want to miss what happens when the truth finally walks back through that gate. Mara folded the agency letter into her palm like it was made of gold. "Mama, they called me," she whispered, kneeling by the mattress where her mother lay thin and tired. "I got the job. Once they start paying me, we'll fix your hospital bills. You'll work again, Mama. I promise." Mama Nkechi smiled weakly and touched her daughter's face. "God will bless you, my daughter. Go and do well." The Okonkwo estate sat behind black gates in Banana Island, the kind of house Mara had only ever seen on television. Lady Patricia met her at the door without warmth, looking her up and down like she was inspecting furniture. "So you're the new house help?" "Yes, Ma. Breakfast must be on the table by 7 every single morning. This house stays spotless. My son takes his coffee early, do not disturb him unnecessarily. Are we clear?" "Yes, Ma." "Good. Go upstairs and call him down. Dinner is ready." Mara climbed the marble staircase with her heart hammering, knocked, and pushed the door open. "Sir, dinner is ready." A deep voice answered without looking up from his laptop. "All right. I'm coming." That was her first glimpse of Daniel Okonkwo, the only son, the heir everyone in Lagos society was already calling the next big name in shipping logistics. Downstairs, a sleek black car pulled into the compound. A young woman stepped out in heels that cost more than Mara's yearly salary. "Chioma's here," Lady Patricia announced. Chioma, daughter of Senator Is, and the entire Okonkwo shipping empire's next contract was tied to her family's name. "Chioma, you're finally here. Where's Daniel?" "Upstairs," Mara answered quietly, stepping aside. Chioma's eyes swept over her like she was nothing. "Who is she?" "The new house help," Lady Patricia said. "Then what is she still standing here for? Leave." It was said with such venom that even Lady Patricia blinked. But before Mara could shrink away, Daniel's voice came from the staircase, low and firm. "That was unnecessary, Chioma." He looked at Mara, really looked at her, for the first time. And something in that look would change everything. "I'm sorry if I caused a problem, sir," Mara said later, eyes down, hands twisting her apron. "You don't have to be afraid of anyone in this house," Daniel said. "Why do you look so scared of me?" "I'm not scared, sir. I just don't want trouble." But trouble had already found her. Chioma stormed to Lady Patricia's study, furious. "He defended an ordinary maid over me. In front of everyone. Don't let a house girl come between you and my son," Lady Patricia said coldly. "I'll handle it." That night, Chief Okonkwo himself called Daniel into his office. "I hope you're preparing for your engagement to Chioma." "Dad, I've told you, I was never interested in marrying Chioma. Do you understand what is at stake? This family's next shipping contract depends on the E's name. I can't marry someone I don't love. Chioma isn't my kind of woman. This family depends on that marriage, Daniel. You will marry her whether you like it or not." Daniel walked out without another word. Behind him, his mother's voice trailed, sharp with suspicion. "This sudden change has nothing to do with that maid, does it?" A few days later, Daniel found Mara polishing the staircase rail, avoiding his eyes. "You've been avoiding me," he said softly. "Did I do something wrong?" "No, sir. I just don't want problems for myself. Ever since you walked into this house, I haven't been able to stop thinking about you. And don't tell me you don't feel something too, because I know you do. Mara's hands trembled. It doesn't matter how I feel, sir. We're not of the same class. And I need this job, my mother is sick. I'm trying to save for her surgery. Daniel's expression shifted instantly from longing to concern. Your mother is sick. You should have told me. That same week, he visited the small room in Ajigona where Mom Nkechi lay weak on a tin mattress. He paid for every test, every scan, every consultation, without being asked twice. Please, do whatever you can, he told the doctors. Money is not the problem. Mom Nkechi wept and held his hand. God will bless you, my son. Thank you so much, sir, Mara whispered later, walking him to the gate. You don't have to thank me, Mara. She lingered. I just wanted to say it again, for everything. Can you stay a little longer? He asked quietly. I just want you by my side tonight. She stayed. If you've ever had someone show up for you when no one else would, drop a comment below and tell us their name. Let's see how many beautiful people are reading this right now. Lady Patricia did not need proof. She only needed a reason. I have a strong feeling that Maid is the reason Daniel has been acting strange, she told Chioma. Chase her away. No, Lady Patricia said, eyes narrowing. Chasing her away will not solve the problem. We need something that makes Daniel denounce her forever. That evening, Lady Patricia called Mara into the kitchen. Meet me here later. There's something important I'd like to discuss. Mara, eager to prove herself, agreed without question. All right, Ma. I'll do as you say. What she didn't know was that her glass of juice, the one she'd left on the counter while she stepped out to do an errand, would never taste the same when she returned. Her head grew heavy. The room began to spin. The last thing she remembered was the kitchen tires tilting beneath her feet. She woke up in an unfamiliar bedroom. Daniel was already there, equally disoriented, equally drugged, and Lady Patricia was standing in the doorway with her arms folded, as if she'd been waiting all along. Mara, what were you doing in this room with him? I swear, I don't know how I got here, Mara stammered, panic rising in her throat. Do you really expect us to believe that? Chioma sneered, appearing right behind her, smiling the smile of someone whose plan had worked perfectly. Daniel, still groggy, still confused, said nothing in her defense. I will not have someone like you under my roof, Lady Patricia declared. Pack your things and go. If you don't believe me, Mara said, voice breaking, there's nothing more I can say. She was escorted off the property that night with nothing but her bag and her shame. Mom Nkechi held her weeping daughter in the small room in Ajigona. Why did they chase you away? They accused me of something I never did, Mama. I promise you, I didn't do it. I believe you, my daughter. The truth will come out. Weeks passed in silence and shame. Then, one quiet morning, Mara discovered why her body had felt so strange, why the smell of fried plantain made her stomach turn. Congratulations, the doctor said. You're pregnant. Mara sat frozen in the small clinic chair. Mama, I never wanted any of this to happen. My daughter, what is done, Mom Nkechi said gently, pulling her into an embrace. But Daniel needs to know. He won't believe me, Mama. Not after everything. With the small card Daniel had once given her, meant for her mother's treatment, Mara used what remained to rent a tiny shop space and start a modest provisions business. It wasn't much, but it was hers, and it kept food on the table while she carried a child the world didn't yet know existed. If you believe truth always finds its way back to the light, like this video right now, it genuinely helps this story reach more people who need to hear it. Back at the Okonkwo estate, wedding plans for Daniel and Chioma moved forward at Lady Patricia's insistence. Chioma has stood by you for years, she pressed. How much longer should that girl wait? Fine, Daniel said flatly, hollow inside. Do whatever you think is best. But guilt has a way of finding the weakest link in any conspiracy. Musa, the estate gateman who had been forced to play along with the lie, could no longer carry the weight of what he knew. Daniel, I need to tell you something, he confessed one evening, voice shaking. Miss Mora was innocent. Nothing ever happened between us. I wanted to speak up, but your mother warned me to stay silent. Everything that happened that night was planned. Daniel's blood went cold. Are you serious? Yes. I'm sorry, sir. The night before his engagement, Daniel walked into his mother's study with Musa standing behind him. Did you tell me the whole truth about what happened to Mora? He asked. Why are you bringing this up again? I already told you everything. No, Mom. I'm asking if you told me the whole truth. He called Musa in. Lady Patricia's face drained of color the moment she saw him. Tell her what you told me, Daniel said. Madam, I can't keep quiet any longer, Musa said, trembling but resolute. What happened that day was not the whole truth. You were the one behind everything. Mora was innocent. The room went silent. Mother, I think I deserve an explanation, Daniel said. I did it for this family, Lady Patricia finally admitted, her voice cracking. We couldn't afford to lose the East contract. I was trying to protect our future. At what cost? Daniel asked. Was it really worth it? Everything I did for you. Then you never knew me at all, Daniel said, turning toward the door. I'm calling off the engagement. Chief Okonkwo rushed in, alarmed. What is going on here? Ask your wife what she did to Mara, Daniel said, and the entire room turned to Lady Patricia in horror. It's time everyone knew the truth, Daniel continued. Mara is the woman I love. She was taken from me because of greed. He walked out of that house that night and did not look back. With Musa beside him, Daniel went looking for Mara, only to find her old room in Ajigona empty. They moved out weeks ago, a neighbor told him. Life wasn't easy for them after she lost her job. Day after day, Daniel searched, asking strangers, retracing every lead, until he found Mama Nkechi selling small wares by the roadside. Mama, you've been asking around for me, he said gently. Who are you? Someone very close to your daughter. She studied him for a long moment, then nodded slowly. I can take you to her. But not tonight, it's late. Come back tomorrow morning. The next morning, Daniel arrived before sunrise. They walked through narrow streets until they reached a small compound. Ngozi, Mora's childhood friend, opened the door. Mora. Someone's here for you. Mora stepped out, visibly, undeniably pregnant, and froze the moment she saw who was standing at the gate. Daniel. I've been looking everywhere for you, he said. You found me now, she said, arms folded, guarding the heart that had already been broken once. What do you want? Please, let me explain. When I tried to explain, nobody listened to me. You're right, Daniel said, stepping closer. I should have listened to you. I'm sorry, Mara. I know I hurt you. But I came here to make things right, that's why I brought Musa. Musa stepped forward, eyes lowered in shame. Miss Mara, what happened that day was not your fault. Everything was planned. Your madam and Chioma arranged it together. They wanted you out of that house. I'm sorry, I was part of what wronged you. Please forgive Daniel. He never knew the truth. Mara's eyes filled with tears. They took you away from me before I could even know the truth, Daniel said, voice breaking. I know nothing I say can undo what you went through. No, she whispered. You don't know what I went through. A long silence stretched between them, grief, anger, and love tangled together. Then Daniel's eyes dropped to her belly, and understanding washed over his face. Is the child mine? What kind of question is that? Mara said, half a laugh breaking through her tears. Now you know. Daniel fell to his knees in front of her, hands trembling against her stomach. I'm going to be a father. Daniel moved Mara and her mother into a proper home that same month, no longer a single damp room, but a real house with running water and sunlight in every corner. You don't have to do this, Mara said, overwhelmed. You're carrying my child, Mara. I need to take responsibility. And I want to. Back at the Okonkwo estate, Chioma sat alone with her bitterness. I still can't believe he chose her over me. Enough, Chioma, Lady Patricia said quietly, finally humbled. I've already made enough mistakes. But I loved him. Love isn't something you can force, Lady Patricia replied. Sometimes love simply isn't enough. Months later, Lady Patricia found her son at the small chapel he always visited when he needed peace. Daniel, I came to ask for your forgiveness. I know I wronged you. Please, give me a chance to make things right. Mom, you really hurt me. Please come home. The house feels empty without you. It's not that simple, Daniel said. If you want to make this right, you need to apologize tomorrow. Not me. And she did. Standing in the home Daniel had built for her, Lady Patricia faced the young woman she had once drugged and disgraced. I was wrong about you, she said, voice trembling with genuine shame. I treated you badly, and I am sorry. Mara studied her for a long moment, then nodded. I've already forgiven you. We all make mistakes. What matters is what we learn from them. Lady Patricia broke into tears. My son never told me I would be a grandmother. Today is a happy day for all of us, Mom Nkechi said, smiling through her own tears. That night, dressed in a gown Daniel had chosen himself, Mora stood beside him under string lights in the garden where it had all once fallen apart. You came into my life when I needed someone the most, Daniel said. You believed in me when I didn't deserve it. You never gave up, even when I gave you every reason to. Mara, will you marry me? Tears streamed down her face as she nodded. Yes. The garden erupted into applause, Mom Nkechi, Ngozi, Musa, even a quietly weeping Lady Patricia, all witnesses to a love that survived betrayal, poison, and lies. Thank you for choosing this journey with me, Daniel whispered against her forehead. Once our baby arrives, we're having the biggest wedding this city has ever seen.
If this story moved you, you'll love what happens in our next one, a story about a woman who lost everything to a man's family, and built an empire to make them regret it. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. And before you go, tell us in the comments, should Lady Patricia have been forgiven that easily? We want to hear what you think.